Hi, welcome to a pod with two J's. I'm Jill.
And I'm Julie.
Hi, it's Julie. Jill's away this week. Looking forward to her return. I'm going to chat in a few moments with a special guest. My middle son, Spencer, has agreed to join me on the podcast today. Welcome to a pod with two J's, Spencer. And we're going to talk about high school grad and how it's changed in the last few years. But first, let's catch up with our sports.
Let's talk sports.
I just wanted to touch quickly on the Canadian Open, which was held last weekend in Toronto area. And Nick Taylor won, and he's a Canadian golfer. He ended a 69-year drought for a Canadian to win the Open, and he did it on the fourth playoff hole against Tommy Fleetwood, sinking a 72-foot putt, which is the longest putt hold in his PGA career. I watched it. It was so exciting. I kept turning the oven down, making dinner so I wouldn't miss it because I thought, oh, they'll play one hole and then they'll play another hole and then another. But anyway, we went to 4 holes and it was fantastic. I'm sure all the golf fans in Canada were so excited and so happy about that. And just a bit of a wrap on our hockey, which is completely done now. So, which is kind of good since it's already June. The Panthers were eliminated by the Las Vegas Knights. Now they are Stanley Cup championships. They were only founded in 2017 as an expansion team, so they've done pretty amazing considering how young they are as a team. And the Denver Nuggets won their first ever NBA championship. And a shout out to Jamal Murray, who's from Kitchener, Ontario, a wonderful Canadian on that team who played amazing. And I'm sorry the Heat and my Jimmy Butler didn't win, but all in all, it was a good series. And that's a wrap on sports. So as I mentioned at the top of the show, I have a special guest this week. This is my middle son, Spencer. Spencer, welcome to a pod with two J's.
Thank you.
It's good to have you here. And just a little shout out to you. Happy belated birthday. We celebrated Spencer's 21st birthday on Friday, which was amazing and a wonderful age to be, isn't it?
It is. It's amazing.
I wanted to talk about graduation, high school graduation specifically, and the changes it's had in the last year or so. And it's all inclusive now. So Spencer's older brother graduated in 2019. Spencer was there and, well, we were all there. And I remember sitting in the audience and they would call up your child's name and they would announce where they were going if they had selected their university or college already. Remember that, Spencer? And they would mention if you were on an honor roll. They would talk about academic and athletic awards. They were all presented and all in front of everybody, which was great because my older son, I've known most of those kids in his age group since he started public school here in the town we live in since grade 1. So it was wonderful as a parent to hear if the child had made a decision where they were going, what they were going to do. It was fantastic. And I remember thinking, wow, so-and-so is going here and here. So now it's all inclusive at graduation, Spencer. So now they just call up your name and they hand you your fake little thing and off you go. If you get an award, academic or athletic, it's emailed to you. Tell me what you think about that. And Spencer, also a little backstory of Spencer. He's a grad of 2020. Right, Spencer, you left in March of that year and never went back. He's never had a formal graduation. Seeing his brother graduate the year before, he knew what he was hoping to hear his name on stage and an honor student as well. So what do you think about the inclusive graduation now?
For inclusive grads, for me personally, I worked hard for my awards and diploma.
Do you think it's fair if you work really hard and you have these accolades that are well deserving, that you should feel bad or have to hide it from your peers because somebody else maybe isn't doing as well in school? And we all struggle at different times in our lives, right? Some people don't hit their stride until their 30s. Some kids do amazingly well in post-secondary school and not in high school. I get it, but do you think there's a motivational factor that if you hear about somebody getting this and this, that it would make you want to work harder maybe in college or university? How do you feel about that, Spencer?
Having gone to my older brother's grad and seeing all the students get handed their diplomas and their awards and them telling all their students where they're going for school, it felt right. I feel that like around the high school age, there's no reason to be as inclusive with awards and grad ceremonies because people worked hard for that.
So if you graduated as an honor student, would you want them to say that you were an honor student? And if you were accepted at a certain university, would you want your peers to know that?
I would.
So who's benefiting by having an inclusive graduation now?
Mostly the students who don't try and
Or maybe they have difficult emotional struggles or family struggles or learning disabilities, maybe.
Yeah.
So should we cater to that?
I don't think we should cater to the minority in general because
Do we need to be more sensitive to that?
I don't think we should be more sensitive because in the real world and when you're working a real job, people are not going to care about your feelings like that.
True. Where's the balance of being able to say, hey, I graduated with honors, or I really struggled in high school, but after seeing all my peers do so well and going to grad and hearing about all that, I really pulled up my socks in college or university and became what I was inspired by other people to be. Do you not think that would motivate some students?
I definitely agree. It probably motivates some students who want to achieve more than they had previously.
Right, I agree. You don't think that they should do this?
I don't think they should I don't believe they should cater towards the minority of people when most people would want their awards to be
shared with their family and friends?
Yes.
And what about the graduates now? If you don't have enough credits and you're not graduating, they still let you walk up on stage with your peers. Do you think that inclusion is a good thing, to be able to be with your peers even if you're struggling with a credit or two behind?
Everyone should be able to walk up on stage and get their high school diploma.
Even if they don't have enough credits to graduate?
Even if they don't have enough credits to graduate, they should be allowed to be there with their classmates of that year.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. I appreciate your input, Spencer, and thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
You're listening to a pod with 2 J's. Today's Father's Day. We're recording on Sunday, and I wanted to shout out to all the dads out there doing a great job. Happy Father's Day. To all the bonus dads and stepdads out there, way to go. Super proud of those. And to all the solo parents that are doing double duty, happy Father's Day to you too. Today's a day that doesn't always bring a lot of joy to everybody. You could have lost your father, you don't have a dad, you're estranged from your father, or there could be family dynamics that just make this day a little bit difficult. You could love your dad and not really want to talk to him. So there's so many variables about that. And Spencer's sitting with me still because we just wrapped up our graduation talk. So I wanted to get his input. If he wouldn't mind sharing on our podcast how you feel about Father's Day. It's a hard day, I think, for my kids, but I'll let you jump in, Spencer, and tell me how you feel.
Father's Day generally doesn't really resonate with me because I didn't really get to experience it to the fullest when I had a father around. It's a sensitive day, but I kind of just like throw it in the back of my head and I don't really think about it.
It's not a sad day for you?
It is not a sad day.
I'm glad to hear that. Is it a day where you reflect on Daddy at all?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, I do too. It's not easy. We move forward, don't we, as a family?
Yes, we do.
And as long as your family is full of love, there's no definition of how it needs to look to the outside world. So, on that note, I think we're going to wrap it up for today. I appreciate you being here, Spencer.
Thank you.
And I hope you come back and visit another time. And I'm going to throw out to a quote, which Jill and I usually end on a quote. So this week is my quote because we're missing Jill and she's not here. So my quote this week is from Martin Luther King Jr. It goes just like this. If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. And I think that's beautifully done. And I'm going to play a song for my boys. because it's Father's Day, and I love them very much. And thanks for listening to A Pod with Two J's. We'll see you next week.